Welcome to Yeshiva Daf. We're holding in Menachos Daf Tzadik Tes. If we have time in the end, maybe we'll say one of the Nekudas that are very Nagia to the end of Tzadik Tes. We're holding, Menachos Daf Kuf. But we're going to start with Tzadik Tes with base at the bottom. We're going to be starting from the Agat to the last Agat over here in the Amud. Oma Yechezkel my dichtiv ve'af isitcho mipi tsar rochov lo yimutzak tachteo. This is a pasuk in Iyov. So what it says, usually temptation is that a person is trying to steer his friend from the right path to the wrong path. Here HaKadosh Baruch Hu is trying to persuade a person and make it interesting for him to go to Derech Chaim. He is convincing you, he is tempting you because of the tsar, the mouth is closed. What does it mean? Meaning it's smoke, it's very smoky. Maybe say that inches it's closed, so it's very small inside, not a lot of room. It's very wide, there's a lot of fire over there. Maybe say it's not going to be ready for a Talmid Chacham. Melech doesn't go there. Something wrong goes there. You have to understand what it means. Everything here is very deep. There's no wood. Maybe say, okay, anybody who doesn't go to Gehenna, that's his reward, no Gehenna. Meaning you should know that if you did the right thing, you get a lot of desha, a lot of reward. So that's not, the punishment is not that it's just avoiding Gehenna. It goes both ways. It has to do back to the Gemara La'el, because the Gemara La'el said the person should not make his Torah, should not be choiva. So usually in the world, there's two types, there's two things. Either it's something which is obligation, but it's not rewarding. You have to get it done. If you're not getting it done, you have to pay your taxes. If you don't pay taxes, you get a punished by the IRS. What else do you pay the taxes? You don't get a yishar koyach. There's no letter from the president saying thank you for paying your taxes. You pay your taxes, that's it. Or you do something which is pleasurous. I'm going on a trip. I don't have to go on a trip. If I don't go, nothing happens. If I go, I have a pleasure. But by Torah and Avodas Hashem, it goes both ways. You have to do it, but if you do it, you get rewarded. And this is really what the Gemara concludes over here. You get a Gehenna. Okay, if I didn't do anything wrong, I don't get a Gehenna. No, you get rewarded. So it goes to both extremes, and they both work together. Says the Gemara, it says the case of the Mishnah of Yom Kippurim falls on Shabbos. So then they eat the Lechem Aponim on Motzei Shabbos. Then the Mishnah concluded and said, if Yom Kippur is on a Friday, so what do you do with the Seir Yom Kippurim? You have to eat it that night. But that night is Shabbos, so you can't cook it. So Bavlaim, the Babylonians, eat it raw. Says the Gemara, it wasn't the Babylonians. They're from Egypt. But because they hate so much the Babylonians, right? Because they were the enemies of Israel, he wanted to say that they did something which is not proper. So he called the Babylonians, they're not the Babylonians. So Abudu came in Bavel. He says, thank you. They start saying these Babylonians, barbarians. No, it's not the Babylonians, it's the Alexandrian. Babylonians is just a nickname because of the hatred that we have for this nation. Says Taisis, what do you want from them? They did a mitzvah. They ate the carpet. Gavaldik. Because what's wrong with that? Says Taisis, no. Because they would not eat only this. They ate everything raw. They didn't eat only the mitzvah raw. And that's why they're related in a disgraceful way. So the Mishnah. Sider Salechem b'Shabbos v'Sabazichim Lachar Shabbos. When do you do Lechem Aponim? On Shabbos. When do you do the Levoino? On Shabbos. If you did the Lechem on Shabbos and the Levoino after Shabbos, even though he put everything on Shabbos the right time, puzzle. It's puzzle, and there's no way to fix it. Why? Rashi points out, once the lechem was put on Shabbos, the minute the next Shabbos goes by, it becomes nicer after Shabbos. It was there for the right time. I don't have a zikr, I don't have levino, so I can't be mat there. It's because possible. There's no pigul noisa v'tameh because pigul noisa v'tameh is the only things that are kosher. This is not kosher. Siddur Salechem is a Bazichim Be Shabbos. It was done on Shabbos properly. But he clears the Bazich Lachar Shabbos. He put the Bazichim after Shabbos during the week. Sula again possible. Same idea, because he didn't do it correctly. It's not a right of Hoida, so it doesn't have a din of kosher. Rashi says that there's no Noisa on Lechem because it's not Roy Lachilo, and there's no din Tumo because it's not Mutul Toy. But Siddur Salechem is a Bazichim Lachar Shabbos. If he did everything during the week, on a Tuesday he went and put on the Lechem and the Bazichim. If he did the Bazichim Shabbos, and then he put the Levoino on Shabbos, Psula. That is Pasul. Why is it Pasul? Because it wasn't done properly on Shabbos. But the Lechem wasn't there for a full week. Kate said Yase, what should you do? He put the bread on Tuesday, just leave it the next Shabbos. I don't care that the bread is longer than a week. If it was a full week, it becomes nicer. But only if it starts the Shabbos. If you're starting on during the week, the clock starts to tick only on Shabbos. So it could be on the shulchan for almost 2 weeks, and it's going to be fine. So more Tanan also. Omer lehem hamimune. This is from the quote in the Gemara in Yuma. So the one who's in charge, Rashi brings over here is the Memune. Rashi brings Rashi in Meseches Yuma that says it's the Sgan. Okay? Go check if it's already light, because they want to make sure they don't make a mistake. Go check. So he goes up to check if it's time to do Korban Tov. If he did Kev Tav Shchito, so the one who is seeing it says out Barkoi. The word Barkoi over here means that became light. That's what Barkoi means. Here ayoim. He says that it's all light until the city of Hebron it can see light. Why he says until Hebron? Because Rashi had to bring over the Yushami to remember Yeshein Hebron. It's Chuzos. In other words, they ask him. He says, Barkoi says, did it light until Hebron? He says yes. Why do they need someone to go check it out? Once the light of the Levana came up, meaning there was a moonrise, and it became very light. They thought, here Mizrach. Shachatu is a Talmid. They shechted the Talmid too early. And then what happened was during the night, they had to go and they put it and to burn it. That's just the hemshech over there. After they check what the Talmid is, the Kohen starts doing the avoid Yom Kippur and goes to the Beis HaTfilah. Now, why do you mention he goes to the Beis HaTfilah? Anybody who goes to the bathroom needs to do tefillah. Anybody who urinates, so that's all part of the Mishnah there in Yom. Okay, so we said over there that we want to make sure it doesn't become a night. Because at night, it ruins the carbon. We mentioned this because we mentioned down in our Mishnah that if they did the lechem or the void in the wrong time, it ruins it. So we mentioned over here this as well, that it gets ruined. Tanya Avuda Avavi and Loizu Bilvad Elafilu Oila Saoif Shenim Kobalayla. Oila Saoif was done at night. The meaning was checked at night. Mincha Sabelaylo takes the base of not only Tomit, but also by Oila Saoif and Mincha. Usually the Saoif should do life Shaladur. Okay, that's how I understand. If you shechted, if you killed the Oila Saoif too early, too bad. But a Mincha Shadam Yadu Korban Seduch Teve comments, what's the problem? He took out the Kmitza too early. Right? He took out the kmitza. So just put it back. The Gemara understands at this stage that nothing happened. If I did it on 9 instead of the day, I didn't do anything. Just put it back in place. The Kohen Zvi do back in the day. Says the Gemara, he said it and he explained it. Once they put in the klishars, the mincha, it becomes kadosh before the time because the klishars be kadosh. Meisivei says the Gemara, that's not true. It says kol hakor bayoyim, kadosh bayoyim. If it's the avodas in a day, it becomes kadosh in a day. Balaylo, kadosh balaylo. Bein bayoyim, bein balaylo, kadosh balaylo. If it's something which is avodas day and night, it becomes kadosh day and night. Kol hakor bayoyim, kadosh bayoyim, bayoyim meaning balaylo loy. It says it doesn't become kodesh at night. You just said it doesn't become kodesh. Says the Gemara, ain't a kodesh li korev or kodesh li pasal. You're right. It doesn't have kedusha to have a korban, but it does have kedusha to have a psul. In other words, it's good enough to make it pasal. Now we go back to our mission. He pulled the lechem the levoina after Shabbos. So our Mishnah said, if you did it in the wrong time, no problem, just wait for the right time. You're good to go. So why don't you say, if the only klishos makes a kadosh, ligdosh relief, so why don't you say that the shulchan makes a kadosh? Meaning he put the lecha podim on Tuesday, should become kadosh, should become basel. And the clock will start ticking right away. It's a good child. Whoever's asking, he's asking a good question. Says the Gemara, 1 second. He didn't make it up. He brought a brisa. Says the Gemara, Kasova Lailo in Mechusas Man, Hayom in Mechusas Man. That's the shot. 9 days all within 24-hour period. So I'm saying this day it's going to be Kodesh Likarev, even though in the night it doesn't become Kodesh Likarev, but it already becomes Kodesh Lipasla because it's within the same time frame. But if I'm putting it on Tuesday instead of on Shabbos, so that's a completely different day. Then it's completely no shaykhs. It's as if I did Lecha Podim in my house. It doesn't become Kodesh. It's the wrong day. If it's within the same day, it just didn't yet come to the time, to the hour, so you say it's already shaykh to here. So it becomes Kodesh because possible. But if it's a completely different day, it did it Tuesday instead of Shabbos, it doesn't become Kodesh to possible. Good?
So, therefore, once you put in Tuesday,
nothing happened. Very good. Says the Gemara, 1 second. You're right. Tuesday, nothing happened. But on Leil Shabbos, something did happen. So if says the Gemara, without Kufah days, Kimati Lal Yod Beishisho, when it comes the night of Shabbos, Ligdosh with Pasal. He put it on Tuesday. Tuesday doesn't become Kodesh. You say, no problem. Wait for Shabbos. And it's considered to be, it was put on Shabbos. Why? It was already there in Leil Shabbos, because it's already since Tuesday. And within 24 hours, it doesn't become Kodesh Pasal. So it should be Kodesh Pasal the night of Shabbos. Says the Gemara, Omar, Rabbo, Omar Ravo, B'Shekod Misile. You know what happened? He went and removed the bread before Shabbos. He put it on Tuesday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday afternoon, he removes the bread, puts it back at Shabbos. That's what happened. You're right. If it would be there Friday night, it becomes Kodesh Pasal. But it wasn't there Friday night. Says the Gemara, even if you didn't take it out, but when was it put it on? It was put it on Tuesday. How was it there on Friday night? Because of the pudding of Tuesday. Not because it was put on Friday night. So therefore what? It's like a monkey doing it. In other words, in order for it to become possible, you have to have a human being doing the psul, an Adam. So if he put it Friday night, it becomes possible. But he put it Friday night, he put it on Tuesday. Tuesday doesn't become possible. Friday night, it's there on its own. It's like a monkey putting it on. He never put it on Friday night. So therefore, it doesn't become possible. If the mice in the Sina wasn't done on Friday night, it doesn't become possible.
We're talking about putting it on a few days earlier. What happened to the Lechem over there from the previous Shabbos? So if you took it out early, you want Yechezkel.
So the other one, okay, good question. They have room? I don't know. Good question. Maybe according to Mandama, they use
to fold it up to get it this.
Maybe because you had a few shulchanos. Yeah. So you use the other shulchan according to the Mandama. Good to go. So the Mishnah. The two lechem, the common shavuos, they can be eaten when there is ein pachas b'shtayim v'lo yisar shloisha, which means the baking and the eating will have a minimum of 2 days. 2 days means 2 days including both. So baking the 1 day, eating the next day, or max 3 days, baking 1 day, eating 2 days later. Why? Ketzat. So v'lo yisar shloisha. Ketzat. Alphas may have Yom Tov. If it was baked before Yom Tov, nechaz b'Yom Tov l'shtayim. That's the second day. Chal Yom Tov there is achar Shabbos. But if Yom Tov falls on a Sunday, so when do you bake it? On Friday. So it's a 3 days. Nechaz l'shloisha. That's easy. Continues the Mishnah. Lechem aponim nechol ein poichos mitisho v'lo yisar l'chadasar. The minimum amount is 9 days. 9 days including the baking and the eating. Why? Because you bake it before Shabbos. This goes good about no, you don't bake it on Shabbos. So you bake it on Friday. So it's Friday baked. Shabbos day number 2. Plus 7 more days the next Shabbos. You eat it day number 9. If it's okay, therefore may have Shabbos, Shabbos Tisha. That's 9 days. Chal Yom Tov Yos Be'ev Shabbos. If it's Yom Tov and Shabbos, you don't bake it on Yom Tov. Nechal Asara. Then you have to do it before Yom Tov, which means you have to do it on Thursday. So it's 10th day. Shnei Yom Tov Rosh Hashanah. If it's 2 days Rosh Hashanah, Nechal Echad Asar. So then you do it at day number 11. Ve'einu doichel es Shabbos ve'loi es Yom Tov. It's not doichel even Yom Tov. Right? You can't doichel Yom Tov. Why? Because you're not eating any Yom Tov itself. And you don't do a chorif for Yom Tov the Shabbos. Shimon Galil, I remember Shimon Azgan, doiches Yom Tov. He is doiches Yom Tov. Yom Tov you could bake in Yom Tov for the purpose of eating the Shabbos. Ve'einu doiches Yom Tzoyim. You can't do it in Yom Kippur. Meaning, that will apply if Yom Kippur falls on a Friday, so then you won't bake it that day. If a Yom Tov falls, you do it. Very interesting place over here. We're going to Rosh Hashanah. The Gemara said Rosh Hashanah was Thursday and Friday, so then it would be 11 days because you would bake it on Wednesday. So it says, Tais, 1 second. Rosh Hashanah is what day? If Rosh Hashanah, those days, Rosh Hashanah was either 1 day or 2 days. Meaning, if Rosh Hashanah was on a Thursday, and that was the real day, so Friday is a weekday. You can bake it on Friday. If you pushed it for Thursday, Friday, so you can bake it on Thursday, the day of Rosh Hashanah. Right? So this says, why would it be 11 days? If I'm pushing Rosh Hashanah to Friday, I can bake it right away on Thursday. If I'm not pushing it, I can bake it on Friday.
But you don't know you're pushing it on Friday.
Until when?
Maybe the end. Maybe they took Adam. Maybe the Adam would come in on Thursday.
Oh, so when did we say? We said Masech Rosh Hashanah. When did they decide? Certain time.
Right.
So then you can do it. Right? And that's what he asks.
Yeah, but if the Adam come in, does that mean you're not guys, but you're still that day is the Kedusha's Yontif, even if they come late?
Right. Okay, so it's okay, maybe but Toys brings that chesh, but also got Yom Kippur. Because Toys says, what does the Gemara say? The Gemara says if Yom Kippur, right? He says
Thursday is Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur.
He said no. The question is like this. Here's the shai that he brought down. He brings the name of Rashi. He says like this: if Rosh Hashanah is on Friday, meaning if Rosh Hashanah is 2 days, the time of the Gemara, what was the main day of Rosh Hashanah? Friday. So when was Yom Kippur? Sunday. So you're not going to eat it until Monday. So you have 1 more day because I can't eat it on Sunday because it's Yom Kippur.
Shabbos. They put it on Shabbos. I mean, if it was baked one.
Back at the point, we say you can't bake it on Yom Tov or Yom Kippur. So you come Rosh Hashanah. If you say Rosh Hashanah is Thursday, Friday, so I'm going to die eating it. So then Yom Kippur will be Sunday. So Taisa says, Taisa comes to say, so there's a cheshbon like this. If Rosh Hashanah was really Friday, so then Thursday is now Rosh Hashanah. If Rosh Hashanah is a Thursday, so Yom Kippur will be on Shabbos. So that's what goes in the cheshbon. Okay, interesting thing over here. It says you're not allowed to bring the Dor and Dovas on Yom Tov. Don't tell me the Midoraisa, I mean, I tell you, you could bring on Yom Tov. Why should you wait for the last day? Meaning, that you're not allowed to do in Yom Tov things which are not the tzorich. You have to do it there. What do you mean? I'm waiting. There's nothing to wait for. I'm doing the shtei lechem in the proper time. Right? But I'm not delaying it. That's the right time. So you see from here that anything that's not tzorich Yom Tov, for that Yom Tov, you're not allowed to do in Yom Tov, even though it's a mitzvah, and therefore you're coming to be doiche. That's what we see from here. Okay. That's with this we conclude the 11th parak of Yechezkel Menachos. We will start now the 12th parak, start the beginning. So the Mishnah Menachos v'anesochim shenitmu at shelikichu b'kli. If Menachos and Nesochim became tameh before they went to a kli to become kodesh, yesh lehem pidyon, you can redeem them. Why? Because they don't have kedushas aguf, as we'll see in a moment. Mishekichu b'kli, once they became kodesh kedushas aguf, and that pidyon you can redeem them. How I voice the birds by 18 the wood, by avoiding the spice, the klisharis, mishnitmu and the pidyon, you can redeem them. Shalonim apidyon b'beheimo, redemption is only by beheimo, not by these other items.
Therefore, what? You have to bring another one. And what?
Yeah, for another one's for sure. That we do anyway, but you can't redeem them. You can. It's basically you're going to ruin them. So the Gemara, meaning even the Menachos and the Nesochim, instead of giving the Mishnah that you can redeem them. Even if they're tar, my time. As long as you didn't put into a kli, dushas domininu. They're only dushas domin. They don't have dushas aguf. Dushas domin need nivdim. You can repoint it. You can redeem something which doesn't have dushas aguf. Dushas aguf means that it has a shaved carbon. Here it's okay. So the more of it and by us in the Mishnah says only because we came tamin. Who didn't have gadol nitu? Even without tum. When I say once we give Kadosh, you can't redeem them. Even if it came Tami, you can't redeem them because they have Lush Saguf. Because I said, sometimes I said it at the beginning, even though they already had even though without Tum was also we can't do it. Says the Gemara, or another gear so here, Mishikitchu B'klei and Pidyon, Pshito, Dush Zaguf. What's a chiddush you can't redeem it? That's Dush Zaguf. Itzach. An animal who has a blemish, you can redeem. Now a Tameh is called Ba'amum. So maybe as a din of Ba'amum, you can redeem it. I would think the same thing by Behemoth that has a blemish. You can redeem it. So these Menachos that have tumor, which consider to be Ba'amum, you can redeem Kabashwalan, the love. In other words, it doesn't have that shame of Ba'amum that you can redeem it. Why? So the Gemara, the Miklisharis, we never find something that goes Kodesh Miklisharis and we have redemption. Says Rashi, also by Behemoth is the same thing. An animal, once you shecht it, you can't redeem it. So you can redeem an animal as long as it did not have klisharis. Here, the klisharis is the receptacle. So that's why there's no redemption over here, even though it has a shame bound. I want to end this. For this, we end the daf here. I want to just say one thing regarding the previous daf. I mentioned it last time. It's kedai to repeat it one more time. The Gemara told us in that daf, the end of Tzadkesman base, it seems to be a machlekes. Rishir Bar Yochai says that to learn Torah, what is a Talmid? Talmid is every day and night. That's the Holy Yisrael Daf Yomi. Daf Yomi is every single day. That Moshe brings in the Tshuva. That's a big Yisrael. It's every single day, even though it's not the whole day. Consider to be you're learning the whole time Talmid. So if you learn Kriyishma in the morning or evening, you're good enough. That's what Rabbi Kiva says. That's what Rabbi Shua says. Kosa Rabbi Shmuel, his nephew Rabbi Shmuel, Kosa Rabbi Shmuel tells him, my dear Rabbi, my dear uncle, can I learn Greek philosophy? So he says, you have to look for a time it's not day and not night, then you can do it. Mashma, you can't do it. So it seems that Shmuel is coming to argue. Shmuel says, you do Kriyishma in the morning, Kriyishma in the evening, you're good. Shmuel says, no, you have to. So the way they bring the question is that it seems to be a contradiction. Because if you look at the Gemara and Brachos, the Lamed Vav brings, the Lamed Hey brings, that Rabbi Shmuel and Rabbi Yeshua Bar Yochai argued. Rabbi Shmuel says, go to work. And Rabbi Yeshua Bar Yochai says, if a person is going to go to work, if you have a Ritzon Shabakar, so then HaKadosh Baruch Hu will make sure someone else makes the work. So Rabbi Shmuel, the Gemara says that Rabbi Shmuel will also be Adam, Rabbi Shmuel will also be Adam. For the majority, people can do like Rabbi Shmuel. So Rabbi Shmuel seems to be like Torah ve'avodah, go work. Shmuel, no, Klei Kodesh. It's a contradiction to what they say over here. Here Shmuel says one word is good enough. And then Rabbi Shmuel says he should but the sort of the answer is based on the Vilna Gaon in Megillah Maseches Be'er. The Gaon there, Yechezkel says that it says El Dov Shelem Shir. What's Elem Shir? Torah and Shir. Says the Gaon, you can learn one Lura Torah as a mitzvah, and you can learn the whole Torah Kula. Every single, it goes on to say every daf that you learn, it's full of mitzvahs. So the Kohen really is asking the question. So what's shot that I tell you to do other mitzvahs? What's that? Torah is also a mitzvah. So says the Kohen the big Yisod that the Torah was given to us to learn every single spare moment. If I have an extra moment, I learn Torah. But what does extra moment mean? You exclude time that you're davening. You exclude the time you're doing mitzvahs. You exclude the time that you go to work. You exclude the time that you go to the bathroom or you go to eat. All that is excluded. Because then you're busy with things you have to do. We can add to that, the person has to relax, has to, have a little menucha. It's also, that everything a person needs is busy. When it's not, so then he has to learn time. So according to this, our Gemara over here, there's no machlekes. Yeshua Bar Yochai speaks about someone who has no time. He has to go work. He's busy with job. What's the minimum amount of Torah that you can learn to be Yechezkel? Lo yomur sefer Torah zemepicha. Tegisa bo yom v'layla. Says Yeshua Bar Yochai, you learn a little bit in the morning, a little bit in the evening, you're done. That's the minimum. That's what the Gaon says. Comes the nephew of Rabbi Shmuel and tells him, I want to learn Greek philosophy. Greek philosophy? So you have time. You don't need it for work. So why you learn Greek philosophy? Because you have time. You have time, go learn Torah. It's not a machlekes. If you have time, learn Torah. If not, not. What's about Gemara Brachos? Gemara Brachos talking about what's the ideal lifestyle. There's no machlekes there either. They both agree if someone has to go to work, he has to go to work. The machlekes is what happened. What is better? We want to aspire. Do I want to have a life of Torah with work, or better to do life of Torah without work? If I have no choice, then I go to work. Hashua says the ideal way is to have Torah in their hearts. Shmuel says no, it's better to have Torah only. Hartman, for most people, Rabbi Shmuel works better. So there's machlekes going to be the ideal. Here's the discussion regarding practice, and there's no machlekes over here in the Gemara, and that's the Yesod comes out for this daf, very, very important daf, very, very, very practical daf of Menachos on a daily life.